So taking tests in this class will be done with two different perspectives. Just tests and quizzes that pop up throughout the class, little tests, little quizzes, those will just be done mixed in with your standard homework assignments. So they will become available as we go through the class. They're not going to be available to start. So but if we were in chapter 2, I will make an announcement and post, and announcements will come in the form of emails. So make sure you check your emails. And you'll see it'll pop up. So if I think there's a test that comes right here after section 2.5, because we've learned the concept of derivatives. So in section 2.5, a test will pop up in between here, and it'll say, test number 1. Now, test number 1 will look just like a homework assignment. Everything will operate just like a homework assignment. And as we get closer, we'll talk about the grading. The grading scale is a little different on problems. You don't get unlimited attempts on those problems for a test, but you still get plenty. Typically, how I do it is something. Is something like this, just depending on the content. And so it always kind of changes by multiple choice questions or free response questions. But typically, if it's a free response question, here's how your credit is awarded. On your first attempt, if you get it right, you get 100%. Now, I think in math, we should be rewarded for being told you made a mistake, being able to go back through and find your mistake and get the problem right. So if you're able to get it right on your second attempt, you still get 100%. Then on your third attempt, you will drop to an 80%. Fourth attempt is a 60%, and usually I'll cap it somewhere around there. And we'll see. But so nonetheless, for free response questions, they tend to work something like that. For multiple choice questions, it's typically for your first response 100%, second response 50%, third response 0%. And if it's true false, obviously multiple choice doesn't. True false, I'm not going to do first attempt 100%, second attempt 50%. That seems a little silly to me. So that's typically how I do the grading, but of course it can always change depending on the type of question and what's being asked. So nonetheless, you'll see your test pop up here. But what I really wanted to do is talk to you about the midterm and the final. Now, those will not be done in the comfort, well, they could be done in the comfort of your own home, but they must be done in a proctored setting. So these, you'll see the midterm and the same statement for the final. The midterm must be taken in a proctored setting. This includes the Paradise Valley Community College Testing Center that's located in the Q building, because we do have multiple testing centers. So make sure you go to the one in the Q building. That's for math. Or if you cannot come in, because I know that's part of the reason why some people take online courses is because your hours do not accommodate standard hours or whatnot, we use a service called ProctorU. Now, ProctorU is you do have to pay to use it. The fee is paid by the student, and the sooner you sign up for it, the less expensive it is. So I don't know what their fees are, so you'll have to check with them. But the idea is what they're going to do is they're going to log into your computer. You have to have a webcam, high-speed internet, etc., and they're going to kind of monitor what's going on in your computer, watch you through the webcam. And I know it sounds a little creepy, but I've had other students who've done it, and they said it's actually kind of the people are really nice, and they try to make it not creepy as possible. So nonetheless, so you can use that service, and then. And I'll show you the link here. You can see this is their service. So if you want to watch a little video on it, go ahead and notice right here is where you can go ahead and sign up. And when you sign up, you're going to go ahead and tell them just all sorts of fun little information about yourself. So nonetheless, that's what you're going to need to do to take your midterm and your final exam. Now, not only do you have to take it in a proctored setting, but you also will have to upload images of your work within 12 hours of completing your test. So meaning after you finish your test in the testing center, now the nice thing is the testing center will actually store your work for me. So if you're taking it at the Paradise Valley Community College Testing Center, you don't need to actually upload it to me. I just get them in paper. I can do it myself. So you're covered. But if you're using ProctorU or you have something else, then there's going to be a a place for you in here once the time comes available for the time comes up for the midterm, where you will just click on it. You'll just have your JPEGs scanned of your work, or you'll have PDF files, scans of your work, however you get it. And just you're going to upload your work so I can grade your work for partial credit, because the midterm and the final, when we go through the syllabus, you'll see are worth a lot more points than everything else in the class. So I don't want you to miss a problem. I don't want you to fail the class because you missed a negative sign on one little problem. So it's that kind of thing. I want to be able to go through your work, see your process. So for the midterm and for the final exam, you are required to show me your work. Okay, and so you'll see the final exam has that same verbiage right here, and it's still saying you can either do it in the testing center or through ProctorU. So we'll talk about and the grading is the same way, where first attempt, second attempt, yeah, and so on and so forth. And then I always go through, if you get a 0, I'll go through and look at all your work to see if I can find some partial credit for you, that kind of thing. But the grading of it, like the actual points or whatever, we'll talk about that in the syllabus video in the next video. So I hope that makes sense for tests. And just to reiterate, they will look just like homework assignments. So when you log into a test, you should be very familiar at that point. Test questions will have the same look as every homework problem you've done. I usually will just, so they're going to have the same answer blank with the same little up arrow, so you can type in your solutions. The only thing that will be missing from them is the get help. During the finals and midterms and tests, you don't get to watch a video to help you. Okay. All right. I hope that helps. I hope that answers any questions you may have.